Hey, science peeps. We are down to the wire about 3 weeks to go before we end for the summer. So, if you are behind in any of your activities, especially those quiz and test activities, do them soon, okay? Because the 17th of June, we're happy June, it's the 1st of June. We have to have all of our assignments in by actually before the 17th, and then it gets closed out. Okay, so let's talk about our one of our ending chapters. It's not our last one, but we're coming up. This is chapter 4, lesson 3 about mutations and natural selection. So today we're just going to talk about mutations. Tomorrow and the next day we'll talk about how mutations affect how organisms, how it makes them more fit or not so fit. So you can see this giraffe here, not so fit, can't reach that short-necked giraffe can't. It's not a baby, it's a short-necked giraffe, can't reach those leaves. The long-necked giraffe, it can reach those leaves. And we'll talk about these moths, these peppered moths they're called also. Okay, so let's go to our Google Classroom for my periods 2, 3, and 5, 6. We're going to be selecting this. If you're in my period 8, 9, on June 1st, you are finishing up chapter 5's activity. It's a quiz activity. Okay, so make sure you are not doing this until June 2nd, my period 8, 9. Okay, so you can see today, here's our live lessons, our Google Meet link, and also you can click it down here. We have if you guys participated in the Bitmoji project to guess who the teachers are, here's the answer key there. And also reminder, Mindful Monday is today at 2 p.m. if you want to join that using that link. Okay. Excuse me. So I want to show you something new that I have up. We're still using our HyperDocs, so don't worry. And this new thing is just to make it easier for you if you want to use this the last 3 weeks of our learning. But every day I'm going to have something called a virtual classroom. Okay, new virtual classroom. It has the same things, the same links as our HyperDocs, but it just looks a little, I don't know, neater, user-friendly. So here is my virtual classroom. Okay, and I show you here, this is for periods 2, 3, and 5, 6. So I'm starting it with chapter 5. So if you're in my 8, 9 and you're watching this, you'll get to use this tomorrow. And it'll say specifically you're going to be looking for period 8, 9. Okay, so what we're going to do today is you're going to click on the YouTube TV to watch my walkthrough, which you've probably already done because you're listening to it now. But in the future, when you see this, you'll just click on that and go right to the video. Then you're going to complete the doc titled Chapter 4, Lesson 3, and that's in your Google Classroom. Okay, no, it's not my name spelled backwards. It means Google Classroom. Then you're going to watch the video 1, Mutations in DNA. It's a little book on the bookshelf. Then you're going to watch video 2, the Amoeba Sisters Mutations. Just click the book here. And there are actually a couple questions at the end of our doc to answer for this video. And finally, you get to play a Legends of Learning game. It's a fun game. There's no questions that go with it. You just get to sit back, relax, and play. And then I have, that keeps covering it up. But if you see down here, it says there are some extras. So click on the different objects. If you click on the poster, the fish tank, I got Lily over here. I got a cute little spider, the hermit crab without the shell, a tree, a dog, a cat, and me. Okay, you can click on any of these different things to see some fun videos. And then they will change for chapter 6. Let me finish this up. So on Friday, we're starting chapter 6 for periods 2, 3, and 5, 6. For period 8, 9, that's going to be on Monday the 8th. So all these links will be different and the pictures will be a little different. Okay, so without further ado, let's get going and move on to our activity. So go to your Google Classroom, and right here for June 1st through 4th, periods 2, 3, and 5, 6. And again, June 2nd through 5th for period 8, 9. So There are 3 activities here on the side. So you're just going to click on the first one, Chapter 4, Lesson 3, Workbook Activities. And this is what we're filling in together today. Okay, so if you go to your online workbook, remember it's pearsonrealize.com. I also have instructions on my teacher page on how you can get there. We're starting on page, I wrote 118, but it really starts on page 119. Okay, so let's talk about mutations. It says a mutation is any change in the DNA of a gene or chromosome. So when you think of mutation, you might think of, oh, something bad, or oh, something cool, like Wolverine. A mutation is just a change in genetic information. My college professor made us repeat that over and over again. What's a mutation? A change in genetic information. That's it. So that's all it is. And it could be bad. It could be good. It could be nothing. It could, you don't even know. We could have mutations in our DNA right now, but because it doesn't affect anything, we have no idea. Okay. I guess if you, a certain kind of mutation would be somebody born with, webbing between their fingers. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that's beneficial if they want to be a swimmer. I don't know if they'll be DQ'd in the Olympics for having webbed fingers, but, unless it affects how you pick up things, it's kind of like neither. It's just something different. Kind of cool, in my opinion. All right, so now mutations can cause a cell to produce an incorrect protein during protein synthesis. As a result, the organism's traits may be different from what it would normally be. So, if a mutation occurs on a body cell like the skin, the mutation will not be passed on to the organism's offspring, but if it is a mutation that occurs in a sex cell, okay, the egg or the sperm, remember that the chromosomes, okay, the mutation can be passed on to an offspring and affect their traits. Okay, so let's talk about different types of mutations. The quiz at the end of the week, you'll need to know all of this stuff. So different kinds of mutations. Okay, we have substitution. Okay, where one base pair is substituted. It's different from what the original code should be. So if you think about coding in our DNA, our genes, our DNA is just a bunch of code, and our body knows how to read that code and make certain things happen. Certain cells grow in a certain way. So that's all it is. So you'll see a number of letters here. This is the code. And this code, depending on the sequence and the order it's in and how they're lined up, means a certain thing. So other types, let me see here. We have substitution. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, deletion. It's right here. Deletion, that's when a line is just taken out, okay, and not replaced with anything. It's not substituted with something different. It's just missing. So you can see this strand here, okay, is short. And then when your body goes to read it, when your nucleus goes to read it, it's missing something. It's like writing a sentence with like a paragraph missing, or with, every other word missing, or something like that. It doesn't really make sense. And then the third kind is called addition. It's when it's a regular, this is the normal original base pair, and something is added in. Okay, it's extra. So again, it's kind of like reading a paragraph and there's extra words in there and it doesn't really make sense. Okay, so the 3 types of mutations: deletion, addition, and substitution. So it says circle the added base pair on the 3rd piece of DNA. Fill in the nitrogen bases. So these are just the nitrogen bases, okay? On the 4th piece of DNA to illustrate a substitution. Before we do that, I just want to show you there are 4 chemicals that make up this code. All these letters stand for the full name of those chemicals. So just to clue you in, the A, the T, the C, and the G. Here are the names for the 4 base pairs. So the A is adenine, C is cytosine, G is guanine, and T is thymine. Okay, you don't have to know that, just know the letters A, C, T, G. Now, the other thing you do have to know for your quiz is, let's go back here, which letters line up with which letter. Okay. So there's a certain process to this. T will always go with A. Okay. Now you can have A on this side and T on that side. It doesn't matter, but T and A will always go together. So how are you going to remember that? Well, let's do the next one. C and G, hey, I miss CG, always go together. Okay. So CG, like my name, always go together. And TA, the other two, will go together. So if that helps you memorize and remember which ones go with which. Okay. See, this is why I have my name. It comes up in a couple things like this. All right. Cool beans. So okay, so let's get back to our activity. It says so here's the normal original base pair. It's TA, 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 CG, CG, CG. Very basic so that we don't have to keep looking back and forth. So here we can see, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base pairs on number 1. You look at number 2, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of them was deleted. One of the CGs was deleted. Okay, so that's deletion. Now, number 3, take a look. This is 6, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that's one too many, okay, from the original, because when DNA is copied, it's supposed to be an exact copy, exact replica. So here something went wrong and a base pair was added. So which of these was added? Which of these is incorrect? So we have TA, 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 GC, CG, CG, CG. And if you guessed it, it is this one right here, okay? This fourth one down. Okay, so we're gonna go to our activity. There's one more thing here to do, but we're gonna go to, oops, not that, this one. And we're gonna write for number 3, fourth base pair is, an example of addition an extra GC, okay, right? Because it didn't have it on the other base pair. And then now let's take a look at the fourth one. Deletion is just something's missing. So, let me go back. Okay, so now let's take a look at here. Fill in the nitrogen base on the fourth piece of DNA to illustrate a substitution. So we have TA, 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 TA. Missing. Okay, so it's not missing. We just want to show a substitution now. We want to show how something is placed in it wrong. Okay, so normally it should be CG. So to substitute it, we'll just put in something that shouldn't be there, a TA. So let's go back here. So number 4, in the missing space, okay, TA. And normally you just would have done that with your pencil in the workbook. Okay. So that's substitution. Something else is put in there. If nothing was put in there, that would be deletion. But then these would slide up. So you wouldn't have this empty space. Just like here, it kind of slid up, okay? Because one of the CGs is missing. So you just wouldn't be empty. All right, let's go to the next one, figure 2. So here we have a normal looking crocodile and over here, alligator, sorry. And over here we have one that doesn't look so normal. It's albino. It's missing its green pigment. Okay. So mutations introduce changes in an organism. Mutations can be harmful, helpful, or neither. A mutation is harmful if it reduces the organism's chance for survival and reproduction. So if you have a bird and there's a mutation where it can't fly, it's going to have a really hard time passing on its genetics to the next generation. Okay, it's going to have a hard time surviving because it can't get away from prey as easily. So that one will probably be eaten right away. Won't live long enough to pass on its genetics. So whether a mutation is harmful or not depends partly on the organism's environment, okay, and on the organism. So a mutation that led to this alligator's white color, would probably be harmful to it in the wild. A white alligator is more visible to its prey. I really don't know who eats alligators except people, but Okay, I'll go with it. Book. This alligator might find it difficult to catch prey and may not get enough food for survival. Okay, so that I can see. However, if it hunted at night, I don't know how it would affect it, but I don't know. They're kind of ambush predators too, but I guess if it's coming up in the water and waters are murky, you might be able to see it easier. I think it probably would still be okay to survive. Um, but then again, do we really see a lot of albino alligators in the wild? So I don't know. I can go either way with this. Anyway, we can debate about that if you want to on Google Classroom. Helpful mutations increase the organism's ability to survive and reproduce. Mutations have allowed some bacteria that are harmful to humans to become drug resistant. The drugs do not kill the bacteria with the mutation, so they continue to survive and reproduce. This coronavirus is an example of a mutation that benefited this virus. It mutated in bats. Bats have like super immune systems, and because this coronavirus wanted to, try to make the bats sick, I guess, or when they reproduce, they pop your cells. Well, the bat's immune system said, piece of cake, and it just, didn't survive. But some of the virus mutated to try to be stronger. And then once it got to other mere mortals like us and chickens and cats with our mere immune systems, it like went crazy in us. Okay. It was like, piece of cake. That means, the virus. So it really got, going in us. So anyway, let's talk about rabbits. We talked about rabbits last time. What if you live in the Arctic and your fur was not white? It was brown, like it is here. You think you're going to be seeing easier? Yeah. So the mutation of having white fur benefited those Arctic rabbits. There are jackrabbits in the desert, and they have really big ears to help them stay cool, and they have a different kind of like sandy color. They have the rabbits, the woodland rabbits that blend into the forest. So all of these things came about through genetics. Okay, they're all rabbits, but they have slight variations to help them survive in their specific environments. So let's look at figure 2. A white alligator does not blend into its natural habitat, but this color change may be a beneficial mutation for an organism if it reduces its chance for survival, increases its chance for survival, decreases its chance for survival. So the answer is, of course, if it increases its chance for survival, it's going to help it. Maybe this is like an Arctic alligator. I don't know. It's a special one. All right. So we're going to put here increases its chance for. I'm done. Okay. Let's go to assess your understanding 1A and then assess your understanding 1B. Here it is. Mutations that occur in body cells can or cannot be passed on to offspring. Mutations that occur in sex cells can or cannot be passed to offspring. So remember, that was in the first page. If you remember, it said if it happened on like a skin cell, if it happened on your body cell, it cannot be passed to offspring. But ones that occur in our chromosomes, our X and our Y, the sex cells, can. So the first word should be cannot, and the second word should be can. So we're going to write cannot and can. Let's go to from 1B. All right. Drug resistance in bacteria is a beneficial mutation for the bacteria, but how can it be harmful for humans? So, right here, it says mutations have allowed some bacteria that are harmful in humans to become resistant to drugs. Here it is. The drugs do not kill the bacteria with the mutations, so they continue to survive and reproduce. So, when you feel sick, it's because those bacteria, those viruses, they're popping your cells or killing your cells. They inject themselves. I know viruses do this into your cells. babies grow inside the cells. It's kind of like really gross when you think about it. And then when they're ready to like be born, they pop your cell, and then more like a dozens come out of the cell, and then they go and infect other cells. It's disgusting. So anyway, and makes you, that's why you feel sick, because you're literally, your cells are dying until your body can fight it. So the drugs right here, the drugs, I wonder if I can copy this. We'll try. The drugs do not kill the bacteria with the mutation, so they continue to survive and reproduce. Let's see, did it work? No, it didn't. Okay. So we're going to write the drugs. My memory's bad. Hello. Do not kill the, as is my typing. RIA, so they continue to survive, and I'm going to add a little bit to this in your body. Okay. Ooh, all right, next. Figure 3. Okay. Next page, please. So now we're going to talk about cancer cells. Okay, that is a mutation that is harmful. So it says cancer is a disease in which cells grow and divide uncontrollably, damaging the parts of the body around them. Cancer cells are like weeds in a garden. Weeds can overrun a garden by robbing the plants of space, sunlight, water, all the basic necessities of life. Similarly, cancer cells can overrun normal cells. So if you take a look at figure 3 right here, it says that here's a lung tumor x-ray. Tumors can be visible in x-rays. Circle the tumor in the x-ray above. So we're just going to write, where do you see it? So do you see it in the, technically, I guess this is their left lung and this is their right lung, even though it's on our left side because it's like mirror. So which side is this tumor? In the left lung or the right lung? And if you see, you can kind of see the mass right there. That is a really big tumor. Okay, so we're going to say in the person's right lung. Okay, so we're going to write here in the right. Hopefully they can remove that and they can be on their merry way. Okay. So the next part is relate cause and effect. It's on page 122. Okay, next page. Here we go. Okay. So here's another cancer. It says this is just how cancer happens. So it says underline the cause and circle the effect in each paragraph. Okay. So cause and effect. Scientists think that cancer begins when something damages a portion of the DNA in the chromosome. The damage causes a mutation and the cells function abnormally. Normally, the cells in one part of the body live in harmony with the cells around them. Cells that go through the cell cycle divide in a controlled way, but cancer begins when mutations disrupt the normal cell cycle, causing cells to divide in an uncontrollable way. Without the normal controls on the cell cycle, the cell may grow too large and divide too often. So the cause in this first paragraph is something damages a portion of the DNA in a chromosome. Okay. The effect is the damage causes a mutation. Okay. So let's write that down. Something causes damage. Something damages a portion of the DNA. Okay, that's good enough. A DNA, and the effect is the damage causes a mutation. And let's go to the next paragraph. We're going to go to number 2. At first, one cell develops in an abnormal way, and as the cell divides over and over, more and more abnormal cells are produced. In time, these cells form a tumor. A tumor is the mass of abnormal cells that develop when a cell divides and grows uncontrollably. So you can see here's the tumor growing. So what's the cause and the effect? Okay, so the cause is as the cell divides over and over, more and more abnormal cells are produced. The effect is these cells form a tumor, okay, as the cell divides over and over. Cause, the effect. All right. So last paragraph for this is step 3, how cancer spreads. So you can see right here, when it gets into your bloodstream, that's bad. Tumors often take years to grow to a noticeable size. During that time, the cells become more and more abnormal as they continue to divide. Some of the cancerous cells may break off from the tumor and enter the bloodstream. In this way, the cancer can spread to other areas of the body. Sounds pretty morbid. However, we have great technology today, and people who catch their cancers and who go to the doctor, have great success rates in surviving. So that is the wonderful thing, about this. So anyway, what is the cause and what is the effect? So the cause is some of the cancerous cells may break off from the tumor and enter the bloodstream. And then the effect of that is the cancer can spread to other areas of the body. That's the cause, the effect. Okay. So that is it for our questions here from the workbook. Let's go to the next page. Okay, we don't how cancer is treated very, very well these days. Okay. So that's it for those lesson questions. If you go back to over here, I want you to watch this very short video, Mutations in DNA. They're going to talk again more about substitution, deletion, addition. And then watch the Amoeba Sisters video, and then you're going to answer this at the bottom, right? 3 new things you learned about mutations. Um, and then you can have fun, no questions when you play the Legends of Learning. And for the Legends of Learning, that one is called, if you see down here, Gene Mutations. So look for that one. I have up the old activity still, but select the new one. It says Gene Mutations. When you go into Legends of Learning, make sure you click on either this link or the TV in my virtual classroom here. You're going to sign in with Google, put in my class code CG333, and then have fun playing. And that's all I have for you today, guys. So hope you enjoyed that. And we will talk tomorrow about how all this takes a role in natural selection in organisms to make them better suited for survival. The end. CG out.